And I ain't gonna lie, I'ma just finish this off. It's gonna be like a part two to how I met my brother or whatever. Like this gonna be a part two because why not just go ahead and get it out the way? All right, so we can just move on. So after like meeting my brother and all this other stuff growing up, like my dad, like he would get us and we'd go over my dad's house all the time. I wish I knew how to edit so I could just put this together, but I don't. So whatever, here we go. Uh, my dad, after we met and understood that we was brothers and sisters, whatever, my dad would just get us all the time and we'd come over to my dad's house or whatever. My grandmother's house was like, my dad's house or whatever. So we'd go over there very often, and we used to have fun. Like I said, like my uncle and my aunt, they was like real sheltered kids, couldn't go out nowhere but to the backyard for real. If you going outside, you like you going over on Pinky House or you at the church when you outside at the church. But other than that, we was just like, me and my brother was the ones that went outside for real because our mothers let us go outside or whatever. Boom. So we would come over to my dad's house, and when we would come over to my dad's house, when we would come over to my dad's house, we just used to have fun. We'd have fun in the house. If we went in the backyard, that's what we did. If we didn't, it was just fun in the house. Now I remember, like I said in last video about how I used to teach my uncle and my aunt how to fight. When I was doing that, I didn't know I had a brother at that time. I thought I was still the only child. So I didn't know. But okay, boom. I remember we had came over my dad's house and we was all in there playing fighting and doing all this other stuff, but the fighting got real. I remember I think my uncle, like I think he started to beat my brother up or they went to go bank my brother. It was something, but I just remember wilding out like, hey, that's my brother. And we wild out. My father beat me and my brother. I believe my like we no, I apologize. I'm lying. I'm lying. Let me correct myself. Let me correct myself because gotta like yeah. My dad beat all of us, but I do remember my dad fussing at me and my brother like that's my brother and my sister. Um, Whatever. But yeah, we all got a little spank. But I remember him fussing at me and my brother like that's my brother and my sister. But when we go in that basement, he was proud of how we stuck together. And he kept talking about it like, yeah, she up there going off. That's my brother. That's my brother. Like, yeah, that is my brother. What you want me to do? You thought I wasn't gonna protect my brother? Your brother and sister is big compared to us. Even as kids, they was always bigger than us. Like, please stop. Okay. So boom. Um, a situation had came upon where my dad had, like I made clear before in another video, my dad always had a hand problem. He always had a hand problem. So my dad used to beat us a lot or whatever. Then my little brother was sick of it. Now my little brother, he had took something from my dad and went home with it and found out that it was true that he did take it. So my dad was like, an initiative like, oh, I'm going to beat him. Like he's going to tear him up from behind it. I'm not sure if he got a chance to beat my little brother behind it, but I do remember around this time, like me and my brother, we both going up Gilmore. My little brother been a class clown. I was being a class clown. Only difference was I didn't get caught because I heard somebody tell me that my dad was right there peeping out that goddamn window. So that's why I was able to catch myself and get myself together real quick. Okay. But the difference from me and everybody else, when I was in school and I was doing class clown stuff, my work was done by the time I was doing it. Now, if anybody else work wasn't done, that was not on me. I just know I'm done. If you can manage to, finish while I be the goofball, like distract you, then big ups to you. But if you wasn't, then hey, I don't know. But and I'm just being honest. That just was me as a child. Like, was it right? Heck no. But I'm being honest. There is kids like that, and how I know because I was one. Boom. Um, my little brother ended up getting caught. He got caught. My dad tore him up. Like when I mean he took us out of school. He couldn't. I think he beat him in the class or couldn't beat him in the class and took him. Hold up, I think he beat him in the class, but then he ended up taking him. I remember we leaving the school and we go to my mother house, and yeah, he beat him in the class, and then we left him, and what left went to my mother house, and he beat him some more. Like I remember all that. Like my mother allowed him to go ahead, like go ahead. Oh, he was showing off in class. Go ahead. My mother, she ain't play about that thing either. So yeah, he was showing off in class. Yeah, go ahead. My little brother, he was sick of it. It got to the point he told his mother, like, listen, he beating on me too much. Every time I turn around, he just beating on me and beating on me and beating on me. And it was so true. It was so true. He just kept beating us. Like, we ain't need a beating for every little daggone thing we did wrong. But that's what he did. Excuse me. Come on, y'all gonna get dressed on me. Hey, baby. So, um, you ain't gotta, hey. Hey, girly. But it was more so like, you ain't gotta beat on us for every little thing that we did wrong. Like if somebody did something wrong, like you can just have that conversation with us and hey, you wrong, this, that, third. Like, no, that nigga ain't know how to do that. That nigga he was well, okay? And my little brother, he wasn't with that. He told his mother, like, mine, like, listen, this nigga keep beat. He like every time I turn around, I'm just keep getting beat over and over again, like constantly. I'm just getting beat like constantly. So his mother like, oh, for real? So she stopped him from coming, like coming to get him, like all that keep coming to get him standing like with you, like his mother like, nah, like my son saying you keep beating him and this, that, and the third. And he like, man, I ain't like I'm beating him to harm him and stuff like that. Like when he wrong or if they're wrong, he like, I beat him. And she just was like, oh no, like she wasn't with it. She stopped my little brother from coming over and stuff like that or whatever. So boom. Only time like we was able to see my little brother anytime after that, it would have to take for my granddad to get my brother. And when my granddad get my brother, we had to go over to my granddad's house. And it was still like, oh, my dad, the only way you was able to see your son is if you came over to granddad's house. Like if you came over to Pop's house, that's how you was seeing your son. Pop, wasn't allowing my father to take him to go with him either. But see me, I never spoke up. I never spoke up. I never spoke out about it or none of that. Um, and I don't at that time as a child, I don't understand why, but it was more so as a child. I thought I was so wrong. Like we was that wrong that we was getting them beatings. But when you grow up and you think about it, like no, we was really just doing kid stuff. Like, come on, bro. So, boom, my brother, mom, kept them from coming, and that's just what it was. That was the end of my brother coming over to my dad's house. Um, he only came over, like my granddad. He came over like my granddad's house, and we'd see him, meet him up over there. That was it. Only time my little brother came back around for us coming to my dad's house, like stepping foot in that house. That was when like he became an adult. When he became an adult, like big enough, I think he probably was a teenager. Probably wasn't even an adult yet, but it was like when he was able to make his own decisions without his mother saying no, this, that, and the third, that was the only time. So, yeah, that's just, yeah, hold on. But, um, that was just like like, the last of my brother coming over my dad's house. So when it was like going over to his house, it was from there forth. That was just me going over there. Like he wasn't coming over there no more or whatever. That was just me. But yep, that's the end of how I met my mother. My brother. The part two of how I met my brother, and also hold on. But I apologize because they so rude. But anyway, that's just like how the part two of how I met my brother. Um, us like being around each other as kids, and and why we stopped being able to be around each other as kids, why we wasn't able to continue to grow together and grow up together as kids. Cause my daddy got a hand problem. Yeah. But I love you. I love you all, ladybugs. I love you, boo bugs. I said boo bugs. Buddha bugs, boo bugs. Yeah. We all gonna sprout to something much more beautiful. Yeah. Well, I know I did. And I know you did too. But this is me giving you all a rundown on the foolery that I have endured. Um, yeah, let's go. So I had to get all that out so I can move on to the next. Cause I mean, the real juice don't come until like, yeah. I just gotta get this all out because I don't want to tell you about the juice and y'all be like, what happened? What's going on? Like, gotta tell you where where it all came from. Where all the I say it all. I get it out. So yeah, love you all. See you in the next video. Mwah.